Joined by UMass Boston baseball coach Brendan Eygabroat as we wrap up the regular season and look towards the LEC tournament. First off, Coach, another winning week to finish off the regular season, 9-7. It seems like the pitching has really come around, especially this last week. What have you seen out of your staff as they were able to, for the most part, hold the opposing team's offenses in check?
Yeah, the pitching was really good this week for the most part. I think in the games that we lost, it was more our defense and our lack of offensive production that hurt us. But the pitching all week looked really good, and I think we were hopeful that as guys got back in a routine, got their bullpens, got their arm strength and their touch and feel back on their pitches, that we would see improvement, and we have. I mean, I think with a few of our top arms, 20-day quarantines are not ideal for pitchers. And that was something that we knew what they would be once they kind of got the rust off. And I think, that's really shown, especially with like Aruda and Amalfi, who, came back after long breaks, Dylan Ryan. So I think, definitely excited with the way we're trending up going into the tournament. And, we're excited to go in there and, defend the 3-peat and hopefully go for a 4-peat.
Your offense probably had their worst week of the season. Broke out a little bit against Keene on Sunday in game 2, 5 doubles, 8 runs scored. You mixed and matched a little bit on Sunday. Was that more rest, or was that trying to get some other guys going potentially heading into the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of spots where we've tried multiple options. We're just looking for, sparks and consistency. I thought I was pleased to see Ethan Herrera up at Keene State do very well. I think he had 4 or 5 hits. And hadn't really played a lot of right field due to some injuries. So he's back fully healthy. He's a good 2-way player. We've used him on the mound quite a bit. But I was excited about what I saw from him. And, the season, there's always some ups and downs. And we had some guys who really sort of left their approach this week. I thought there was some guys getting too big. There was some other guys who were maybe a little too passive. And then there were some guys who were too aggressive. So it was a little bit of everything. And I feel like, we've gone in prepared and swung the bats a ton in preparation of this week. And it just didn't really come to fruition from the offensive side. But I think we did execute some of our short game stuff pretty well with some bunts and some stealing, and haven't really consistently found the power stroke. I think, there hasn't, I think we're very capable of hitting for some extra bases, but it's been, we've been more of a singles team and a high OBP team. I have been happy with our strikeout to walk ratio. I think we've really tried to work on our 2-strike approach and making sure we're putting the ball in play. And we did that for the most part this week, with exception of the Eastern Connecticut day. And I thought we were way too passive with runners in scoring position. I think we had 7 or 8 strikeouts, a couple with bases loaded, a couple with second and third. And I think that could have really changed the complexion of those games had we put the ball in play hard with 2 strikes.
I want to bring up the Eastern game. Senior day is always a day where some special things can happen, and Noah Mater might have been that special occurrence. Guy who hasn't had a chance to start all that often, came in without a collegiate hit, got his first collegiate hit, reached every time with 3 walks. What does that mean to see a guy who's worked hard for 4 years, who maybe won't get to see as much action, maybe won't be a guy who gets all conference, but to finally get that chance on senior day to come through?
Yeah, it was great. He's a heck of a teammate. He's one of the most well-liked guys in the team. He gives a real positive energy to his teammates. He's always been an extremely hard worker. So it's great to see him get out there and play really well on senior day. He made some great plays with the glove as well, a bunch of walks, and, got his first collegiate hit. So it was awesome to see that. And all of our seniors, I thought, performed well on senior day. It was great to honor those 8 guys. And definitely they've brought a lot to the program over their tenure. So it's, bittersweet seeing them go, but them getting their degree and moving on to their professional careers in whatever path they choose. We're really excited for them and all that they've brought to Beacons baseball.
Let's turn now to the LEC tournament. It's a different format this year. 2 pods of 3. You guys will be the 5th seed playing against UMass Dartmouth in the first game. The winner plays the top seed Eastern Connecticut State. But the really intriguing part is the days off in between. You can only play a max of 2 games. So if you win the first game, you play 2 on day 1. If you lose game 1, you have a day off in between. How does that play into your strategy, and how much more complicated is that? You get more time to coach, but you also have more time to kind of think on maybe some missed plays, or figure out who can pitch day one, maybe can they pitch day two, just a lot of complexities that you wouldn't have as many during a normal 4-day tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I helped kind of develop the pod idea when we weren't going to be able to have overnights this year for most of the team, so we had to come up with a unique format. And I think the format definitely has some pros and some cons. I mean, I'm a big believer in a tournament being played on multiple days in a row. I think it really challenges a team's pitching depth. I think it really allows a team to get hot and get rolling a little bit. So I dislike the days off, but it is what it is. You know, they got approved. So I think it definitely gives you a lot to think about in terms of how you want to attack your pitching. Because it is also unique that if you lose game one and you get a day off, the other team will then potentially be on their third starter or second starter. So it's pretty even if you lose the game one, so you're still in it. So I think it'll be interesting how it's sort of approached by a lot of the teams. I'm not sure who we're going to start yet. I think we'll have some of our starters in our bullpen to try to strengthen our bullpen. And then hopefully we can have a good offensive approach and play clean with the gloves. I was really happy with the way we played up at Keene. We had a bunch of guys that had rough days on Saturday. And I think to see them bounce back really showed me something from the kind of their mental makeup to come out and play much better with the gloves and have much better at bats. And it was really good to end the year on a high note for some of those guys who maybe had a little bit of a struggle week.
Finally, just looking at the two teams that you're in the same pod with, you should be very familiar with those two. Played UMass Dartmouth in the 2019 championship, UMass Eastern Connecticut State in the 2018 championship. Both of those teams probably want some revenge. What's kind of the keys to being effective in a pod where both of those teams are full of upperclassmen, big hitters, but your strength might be on the opposite side with your young pitchers?
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the numbers, I think we have 4 of the top 11 pitchers in the league. So I feel very, very good about our guys on the mound who we're going to put out there. I mean, they're high strikeout guys, low walk guys in tournaments. The less balls put in play, the better. I was really happy with the way that the 3 young bucks have thrown this year with Amalfi, Dylan Ryan, and Cianciolo have all thrown the ball really well for first-year players. And Aruta's a real steadying presence as our other starter. And, I think, we'll see who gets the ball game one, trying to look at the matchups. I feel like we play Dartmouth every year in the tournament, first game, it seems like. So we're used to battling them. It should be, they're playing really good ball. So is Eastern Connecticut. So we'll need to play a good brand of baseball to get through that pod. And, hopefully we can go out and compete. Again, we've done very well in tournaments the last 5 years. So hopefully we can, kind of use that experience in tournament play and go out there and play loose and play aggressive. I mean, it's a different sort of feeling because we're not the favorite. We just have to go out there and play. And, it's a new season. Everyone's 0-0, so we can go out there, compete, and do our best, and hopefully good things happen.